So in this video, I'm going to be talking about the day I met a man who raised almost $1 billion and acquired healthcare companies in the GCC region. GCC region is the Gulf region. And in my first few months, when I was putting my team together, when I was refining my business model, and I was meeting a lot of people I was looking for advisors who would come on the board of my company and advise me on transactions. I was looking for, billion-dollar people who have worked on deals which went up to $1 billion, and people who had been around, large transactions, have seen money raised of that amount or companies going public of that size, or, done deals that were that size. And I happened to meet one of the chairmen of one of the largest banks, and I was just having a conversation with him, sitting down, and he himself had raised around $350 million in a matter of few months. This is to start a bank or start a private equity firm. He had to raise that money in a short amount of time. So he did that, and I was pitching him to be on the board of my company. And this man said, I like your venture, but the price that you are talking about on which you want to buy these, that you want to do these multi-million-dollar deals is a very small price. If you can buy these companies at this price, it would be great. But how are you going to compete with this healthcare group that has acquired 60 companies and they are paying such huge prices? Why would somebody sell to you if they are selling to, they can sell to this company for such a big price? They have a lot of capital that they can spend, and you are saying you will raise money. How are you going to do this? And I said, how much are these guys paying? And they said they are paying crazy valuations. They are paying crazy prices for these businesses. And they are kind of spoiling the whole market. And so everybody is kind of not able to buy companies because nobody's selling them at the right price. Everybody wants to sell to this group because they're paying such big multiples. So I told him that, I said in my mind that this company is a time bomb, because if you're paying such high multiples, how are you going to exit the portfolio? Because how are you going to make a profit? Because you will have to sell it even at a higher price of what you pay right now. It's a simple arbitrage. You pay a certain amount and you sell it at a higher price. That's the whole investment business. And I knew that company was a time bomb. So in first year, I heard this company's name quite a lot. They've paid such big multiples. How are you going to compete with them? How are you going to compete with them? So I was just waiting for the right moment for them to crash. And guess what? 2020 hits and the whole company crashes. And all the valuations for the business went down. This company was supposed to go public on the stock exchange market. That window closed. Over 7 years, they acquired 60 companies, 60 plus companies, and they were going to go public. But they could not go public. And now they had to sell these assets that they pay a very high price on at a very low valuations, or as much as they can get. But the investors who were pumping, who were empowering this fund, would have to take a loss. So in my second year, around my second year, when I had the team and I already had a little bit of negotiation experience, and I was looking for deals, I was messaging a lot of people, I was making a lot of calls, and I happened to get in touch with this man. And I didn't read his name because I was messaging and calling hundreds and hundreds of people. It was very hard to keep track of names. And we set up a meeting. He said, I have a few assets in healthcare. If you want to buy from us, we can have a meeting. So we had a meeting. I called my lawyer. I said, this is I have an opportunity. We should go and have a look. So my lawyer joined me in the meeting. I went there. There was a nice conference room. Just before the meeting, I checked who the person is. And I checked, this is the founder of that group, that healthcare group and that fund. And he's the one who raised all this money and he did all of these acquisitions. And he was going to be accompanied by the CEO and the CFO of the fund. And I entered the room and this guy, extremely charismatic, extremely charming. And he immediately complimented my suit. He saw the team that I put together. And I'm currently advised on my team, currently I'm advised by, even at that time, I was advised by CEO of a $3.5 billion company, a lawyer that has advised on a $13 billion transaction, two healthcare CEOs with over 30 years of experience, and highly professional and highly experienced finance executives who worked in PwC, KPMG. These are top accounting firms. They are still on my team, and they were at that time. I had just built this team, and I had sent him the company profile. He looked at the profile and he gave me a compliment. He said that this is the best team that you could have put together. How did you manage to do that? And how old are you? I said, I'm 27. I was 27 at the time. And he says, you have such a nice suit. He was complimenting me, and he was talking about various things, and he wasn't really talking about deals. It was a very funny experience for me. And he was joking and laughing and talking and asking, what do you think about healthcare? And what do you think about that? What do you think about this? And I started to tell him, this is what I think about where the healthcare is going. He says, so what multiple are you buying companies? And soon enough, I kind of woke up from the trance, and I realized that he's actually getting me very loose and very relaxed. And he's pulling out information out of me. And I didn't even realize it. This guy was such a good negotiator. And one of the tactics that people use in negotiation meetings is that they create a very casual impression, an informal impression. And they want to get you extremely loose and relaxed, and they will ask you a lot of questions, and they gather information and leverage. So as soon as I realized he's doing that, I got to business. We had a couple of conversations. He said, we have a couple of businesses if you want to buy. And I told him that, we'll think about it. He said, we'll propose it to the board. We'll send you the financial information. You give us the offer. We'll propose it to the board. I will come back and, we'll see if the board will accept this proposal or not. And I said, okay. And then the meeting was over, and I came back home, and I thought, wow, this guy has raised over $1 billion from this region and made 65 acquisitions. And people were telling me, how are you going to compete with him? And the company went down. But I'm around these types of deals and these types of negotiations at this age and meeting these types of people. I never thought I would meet this guy, but I still met him. And he was just so normal. I cannot tell you that when you see someone like that, you feel that they're just like you. And I had, and I still have, much better team, much more experienced, much more qualified, much more reputed team than he had built. And with such a team, he still managed to raise over $1 billion. So really, so many of self-doubts, so many stupid conversations just dropped. And these type of experiences really help you gain those little victories or reference experiences which shatter your old beliefs and change your mindset. And suddenly after that meeting, I knew I would be in a position one day to raise that kind of money like he did and do all of these acquisitions. And he also built that company with little or no money. It went down ultimately. It could have gone up, and that's always the gamble. But he didn't buy at the right price, made some mistakes. But I got to learn from those mistakes also. He was at the end of the investment cycle. I'm at the beginning of the investment cycle. And the market favors me because now the valuations were low. So I was in a very good position. He was in a bad position. But still, we were entrepreneurs. We looked at each other. We shook hands. And the meeting was over. And ultimately, we didn't pursue those deals because we assumed they would want too much because they paid too much. So we dropped the deals where it was still a great meeting. So if you liked the video, hit that subscribe button and give it a thumbs up. And more importantly, if you are someone who wants to get involved in doing multi-million-dollar deals, if you want to have advisors that have done billions of dollars in transactions in your company, in your startup, even if you don't have experience, even if you don't have the educational background, I don't. I'm not from the finance background. I'm not from, I didn't finish my education. I didn't believe in that. I wanted to pursue entrepreneurship. I don't come from money. I'm 29 years old right now, and I'm in the position where I'm exposed to these types of deals. And if you are someone who wants to do multi-million-dollar deals, and if you are someone who wants to be involved and be advised by these advisors, I have an opportunity for you where you can get in touch with me and set up a free consultation call. I offer a mentorship program over 3 to 6 months where I train entrepreneurs how to get into a position of doing multi-million-dollar deals, starting with little or no money, picking an industry, refining your business model, building a team of high-profile executives who have done billions of dollars of deals to advise you, all with little or no money, how to find multi-million-dollar deals, negotiate deals, and finally raise capital and close those deals. If you are someone who's interested in this business model, then reach out to me and we'll have a conversation. And if you are someone who's qualified and serious, we'll work together one-on-one over 3 to 6 months. And I will train you personally, myself, on how to do these deals. So I'm going to leave the links to my Instagram profile, Facebook, LinkedIn, and my email address. Reach out to me and you will have to apply and you will have to qualify for this call. I don't take calls with everybody and I don't mentor everybody. You have to be very serious. And more importantly, you have to be in a position to execute this model. So if you have been watching my videos, if you feel inspired, write to me and we'll get in touch. I'll talk to you soon.